Hello. If you're new, welcome to my corner of the internet, aka my channel. I'm Ella K. If you're back, how awesome is that? Get comfy and join me for a cozy solo evening. This week was an interesting one, a good blend of a lot of administrative tasks and chores to deal with, as well as a couple of really nice things. My partner was off for a couple of days to visit family, and because of my schedule, I wasn't able to travel with them, so I got to have a really sweet couple of days to myself, which was really nice. One of the nights I decided to spend with my family, visiting my sister, her boyfriend, and my brother. I spent a full day with them. Then the second night, I actually decided to treat myself to a lovely evening alone, full of doing stuff that I enjoy doing. I binged various YouTube channels and enjoyed a nice meal, and this is what you're gonna be doing with me. Whatever you're doing, I hope this makes you feel cozy, and I hope that I'm able to make you discover a couple of new things, new practices, new habits, even perhaps new tips and ideas, definitely. Probably a couple of new YouTube channels and or podcast channels too, so let's get started. The first YouTube channel I actually want to mention is the channel of Cassis Martin, who is a French YouTuber slash jewelry maker, entrepreneur slash mom. So if you're curious about what the life as a creative entrepreneur in Paris might look like, take a peek. I think she's cool. Inspired by all the nice atmosphere from Cassis Martin's videos, I decided to make myself what I call my summer drink, or a goodbye summer drink, which is inspired by the partner of my mom, who made this for us as a couple of times whilst we were on holiday in Portugal and then in Paris. And it's basically just sparkling white wine and liqueur de cassis. I have zero measurements, but I'm going to find a recipe and actually add this somewhere on the screen. So if you'd like to try this out, you can go ahead and do it. I decided to snack on some leftover edamame, and then I decided to make myself dinner since I bought dumplings. Dumplings are a super easy meal, super practical, super yummy, and relatively healthy, I'd say. A new practice I've introduced is eating a nice portion of various fruits before dinner, because I've come across a couple of information saying that it might be better for digestion. I don't know if this is valid, and disclaimer, I am neither a nutritionist nor a dietitian, so I do not have the science to back this up, but I decided to try it anyhow, and so far I have no complaints. I got into some sort of meditative state. I don't know if you guys know or have ever experienced this, but it's actually pretty nice, and I do enjoy doing chores when I'm able to tap into that state where I can just think my thoughts without really, attaching meaning to them. It was pretty nice, and I even managed not to burn my dumplings, which is really cool. Before I was able to cut my fruit, I realized that my kitchen being as tiny as it is, I needed to do a little bit of tidying up, which is what you're going to see me do for the next couple of minutes. One thing leading up to another, I ended up doing a little more cleaning than I wanted to, but it's all good. I used a mix of dish soap, cleaning soda, and apple cider vinegar because I didn't have any white vinegar to scrub the sink. Then I ended up doing a little bit of dishes whilst the dumplings were cooking. You can tell that I'm super concentrated by the fact that I'm pursing my lips from time to time really strongly, which is hilarious. I never notice this when I do this, but sometimes I do get comments about it. Finally, I got to clean the fruit, and this week I treated myself to a couple of pink ladies. I haven't had apples, which I was really excited about for a long time, and it turns out pink ladies are my favorite apple. What's your favorite apple type if you like apples? What's your favorite fruit if you don't like apples? For this meal, I decided to go with, an apple, obviously, as well as a yellow plum and cactus fig. The cactus figs were kind of disappointing. I don't know if they always taste watery, but these ones were. They weren't particularly sweet and yeah, tasted very watery, so that wasn't so nice, but I still ate them. I'm sure they're still full of some type of vitamin which my body can get some nutrients out of. I finally decided to try these puddings I'd been eyeing at the Asia store and I really like them, so this is another recommendation of mine. By the time I was done cutting my fruit, the dumplings were long done and had been staying warm, and it was time to plate my dish, which was 3 different sorts of dumplings. The crescent-formed dumplings were a mix of tofu and veggies. The 3 round ones are vegetable-filled and they're actually for soup, and the longish oval ones are actually just very spicy, but also with vegetable filling. If you are watching this and about to have dinner, I invite you to pause the video at this point and plate your stuff, make yourself a nice drink, and then we can just have dinner together. That's a super nice idea, no? As you can see, I am a multi-drink person. I had half a cup of ginger lemon tea actually, and a full glass of kefir at this point. While I was eating, and since I was alone, I actually played a couple of rounds of Homescapes. I don't know if anybody knows this game, but I used to see publicity for it everywhere and all the time, so I finally caved and got it on my tablet, and it is actually a lot of fun. I also have Gardenscapes, which is the format version, and it's fun too, albeit slightly more ancient. After dinner, I decided to finally get back to journaling, which is an activity I very much enjoyed doing, but that I had been neglecting for quite some time. And I had this recurrent thought all week that I don't need a perfect setup to start. I just need to literally open my notebook and just start writing, which is exactly what I did after dinner. In the background, I was listening to Elizabeth Filips, and the video I was watching is a big recommendation from me, especially since we're heading towards fall and winter seasons, which are known to bring SAD, or seasonal affective disorder, with them. She talks about the fact that, and I think this is something that probably concerns most of us, therapy. And the fact that we probably could all use therapy of some sort, but most of us can either not afford it, don't have the time and or the money, or in some cases even access to therapy. Elizabeth explains her self-therapy sessions, and I really recommend this video, and I'm actually gonna link that video in the description box because I feel like if you have a moment and if you can, this is something to try out to give your mental health a little boost. So yeah, I took the time to journal, really write down my thoughts and my feelings, although I mostly recounted what the day was like because I just had a super nice day with family and friends. And it was just something I wanted to keep record of and not forget in a couple of months. Because honestly, Instagram and social media in general don't necessarily do justice to these special moments we get to experience. Apologies for the way I filmed this. I don't know exactly what happened, although by this time I was pretty tired, so the frame is not in the right frame. The frame is not in the right frame, there we go. But I just still wanted to highlight this kind of newish practice that I've been trying to implement and turn into a habit, which is just drinking a couple of warm cups of water in the evening. Basically, if you need a recipe or a how-to, it's just boil water, pour it into a cup, let it cool down to drinking temperature, just like you do for tea or coffee, and drink before going to bed in the evening. Then it was time to get ready for bed, and I decided to do it in a really relaxing manner. The night before, I basically had a sleepover at my sister's place. Shout out to you. And so after getting dressed into sleeping gear, and by sleeping gear, I basically mean an XL shirt and sleeping pants, I sorted out my toiletries bag, put stuff back where it belongs. And whilst doing all that, I finished, or rather continued, watching YouTube videos. I don't know about you, but when I'm alone at home, I sometimes don't want to hear silence, and I actually enjoy listening to some form of content. So it might be a podcast or it might be a YouTube video. I've also started since quite a while listening to audio books, and I just feel like hearing another voice whilst I get things done. I got this fluffy soft headband that allows you to keep your hair dry while you wash your face or when you put makeup on, and the YouTuber who inspired me to get this is Jenn Im, who's one of the biggest YouTubers. She's been around for a very long time and I really love her content, and this is really one of my favorite bathroom items. My evening routine is very simple. I did try the 10-step face routines, and honestly, I hate when my night routines are long, as I just want to go to bed as fast as possible. I'm the type of person who won't even put makeup if I feel like I won't have the energy to remove my makeup at night. Luckily this morning I didn't put any makeup. I did have some the night before, but I got rid of that. I had to let the mask sit for 20 minutes, so the next step I did was actually just brush my teeth, which obviously doesn't take 20 minutes, but I did read somewhere recently that you shouldn't brush your teeth before cleansing your face, as this might dry out the skin around your mouth area. I make sure to pat my skin dry with a little face towel, which I use exclusively for my face, and I change it at least once a week, if not every couple of days. Since my skin is dry and sensitive, I use rose water without alcohol, which is super important, thanks to my other sis for making me realize that. The toner I use is a definite recommendation. It smells good and does not irritate my skin. Next step is to apply eye cream. There, my only tip is to actually not rub around your eye skin too much, because apparently the skin is super thin there and you really don't want to get little cuts, which is something I feel like I already got in the past. So I would say like kind of tap the cream in as patiently as you can. Next step is face cream, and final step is slugging, which is sealing in the moisture of the cream using grease, in my case Vaseline. When I go to bed alone, especially in the colder months, I actually like using either a warm water bottle or in this case a cherry pit pillow, which can be warmed up in the microwave, or you could also warm it up in the oven, as I have heard, a method I have never tried. I put it in the microwave for 3 minutes, and did I mention that I have no patience? Basically, you saw what the microwave sees whilst I'm waiting, wondering why 3 minutes are not going by faster than they are. Finally, it was time to get into bed, but I still have a whole cup of warm water to drink at this point, and I wasn't done journaling yet, and I was still finishing up watching one of the YouTube videos. Anyway, you get the point. This was my way of winding down. This is not necessarily how I end every evening, but this is very close to how I would like to end every evening, especially if I could do this a couple of hours earlier, because this is way past midnight, and since the winter semester is slowly creeping up on us, I'd really like to do that a little bit earlier. This is the end of the vlog. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I really hope you enjoyed it. Add me on Instagram. There's even more tips and recommendations in my stories, as well as in the reels and just generally on my feed. I really hope to see you again next week, same time, same place, for some new tips, new ideas, new discoveries. Let me know in the comment below what you just found out, what you discovered, if you went out to check out any of the channels I recommended. And till then, remember to keep your heart open and your fingers crossed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!